cast 36 votes for Ted Cruz and 6 votes for the next president of the United States.
Speaker Ryan is expected to
Donald
call
J.
for party
Trump.
unity. And, of course, Wisconsin just voted right this second. That was Governor Scott Walker. Former Florida Congressman Colonel Allen West is here to go on the record. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good to be with you, Greta.
So, are you enthusiastically supporting Donald Trump, or lukewarm? Where are you on this?
Well, I think that when you look at the choices that you have, is a clear indication of where this country needs to go. You know, I served in combat, and I can tell you that there is no way I can consider anyone that has abandoned Americans to die in a combat zone and lied about it to be commander-in-chief.
So, but the way you state that, it says it's anybody but. It's not that you're necessarily for Donald Trump, but you just don't want Hillary Clinton.
Well, I will tell you that initially going into this, Donald Trump was not my first choice, but he is the nominee, and I will do everything that I can to be able to make sure that he's the next president of the United States of America. I cannot come out and officially endorse him because I work with a 501c3 organization there in Dallas, Texas. But I'll be voting for him in any way that I can help as far as policy and being a voice out there, I will.
How does he reach the African-American community? Because that is typically a Democratic vote.
Well, you got to go out there.
What does that mean?
That means you got to show up. I mean, the GOP has not shown up. One of the key things that the GOP has not done, when you look at the civil rights legislation, no one goes out and says that it was Senate Republicans that enabled that legislation to pass. Senator Everett Dirksen, and it was Robert Byrd, and it was Al Gore Sr. who were against that legislation.
But I don't know if a lot of these sort of predominantly African-American communities in some of these inner cities have ever seen a Republican national candidate come through, number one. And they see the Democratic ones sort of drive by every 4 years. Well, it's a drive-by every 4 years, and these communities don't change remarkably.
Well,
even Cleveland has a problem
the
here.
Democrats are always there, but the thing is that let's sit down and objectively look at what's going on. The black family has been decimated. 24% two-parent households. A lack of education opportunities in their inner cities with school choice, school vouchers, charter schools, or home schools. The lack of small business entrepreneurship. It was Art Laffer and it was Jack Kemp who came up with this idea of urban economic empowerment zones. That's something that the Trump campaign should be going out and talking about. How do we get small business to grow? How do we get minority small community banks to grow?
You know, you talk about going out and talking about it. It's now July. They've got until November, and a lot of these communities, and this is, I suppose, why a lot of people across America have been supportive of outsiders, whether it's Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump, is they're saying, yeah, we've heard a lot of talk, and there really isn't a lot of time to show that they will actually do and produce. How do you convince a community who's heard a lot of talk that you can actually produce and change lives and generate an economy, a thriving economy?
Well, you go in and you sit down, especially in churches, and you meet with the pastors, you meet with the community leaders. You go in and, you know, one of the things that I used to do when I was a congressman, you go out on night patrol rides with the police officers and see what they're dealing with. And you talk to the people that are out there on the streets, and you start showing that you care. You start talking about after-school programs for children right now. And so it's just a matter of showing up.
You know, you talk about police. A lot of police in this country feel there's a target on their back, and they do not feel support from government officials.
Well, if you talk to these police officers that are here doing an incredible job.
Oh, it's amazing.
It is
amazing.
A fly could not get in here if it doesn't have credentials. They're concerned, and they want people to stand with them.
And I want to say this, not only are they protecting us here, it's amazing, police from all over the country, they are also protecting the right to protest, which is the constitutional right. I mean, the police right now, they're doing an unbelievable, I wish the American people could be here and see the police here in Cleveland. Anyway, they're from all over the country. Colonel West, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Greta.